Hey everybody, welcome back. Tonight we're going to complete the heel or throat, depending on the way you want to look at that, for the transition offset, this plane offset for the two cheeks that we fabricated in the previous video. So let's continue on with project 24. The other night you should have seen, or on the previous video you should have seen me fabricate the left hand cheek and the right hand cheek with all of these numbers here. Now we're going to get ready to fabricate the heel and the throat that will connect the two together. And if we look at the plan on this, this is kind of different than most of our other ones because this is going to be a 10-inch opening here on this section. So what we're looking at for our width there is 10 plus 7/8 and 7/8 for our lock form machine, or rather inch and inch for probably most people out in the field there. So we need, let's see, it looks like 11 3/4 of an inch. Yep, 11 3/4 there for that section. So I'm going to run up, I'm going to find a piece of metal that's going to work with that, and then just get myself roughly in the area here of, I don't know, 9.5, 9 inches, something like that, for that part, and see what I can come up with. So I'll be back with my metal next. Okay, I got my metal here. I'm going to cut it off to 11 3/4 inch. And there's the second one that I just got done cutting as well. Okay, I got my parts here. Now we're going to mark the 7/8 inch on each edge of that for the lock form machine's take up. Okay, then off camera I took some dimensions here of these parts. I laid the section out here and I lined it up, ran that down, found the length, and then with my 10 snips I cut that to length, and then I checked all four sides or all the sides, and I decided that they were absolutely identical, and you can see that they're all equal on all the way around. So that length is going to work no problem for all of them. And then with my tape measure, I took and I laid that out there. Just used the foot mark to find the edge nice there. And then I noticed that it came out to 9 inches right there in the red. So I also cut that width of the part while I was up there. Right there's your 9 inches for both of them. So this should be ready to go. The last thing for us to do on this part then is just to simply notch out the edges, and then we'll get ready to run it through the lock former and roll it. Okay, there we've got the heel for the top and another heel for the bottom. So let's go ahead and run them through our lock former next. Okay, back here at the bench I'm putting the last spacer in now on all four of these parts, so just when we get ready to roll it, that they won't collapse on each other. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I want to kind of gauge where my roll has to stop and then has to reverse to the opposite direction. So I'm just going to put kind of a mark up in here of where I think that point or that roll is going to kind of stop right in this area, and then this will be the opposite direction. So this will be outside an external roll, and this will be an internal roll from the other side, from about there to there in that area. Alright, and then we'll do the same on this other side here as well. Again, making certain we've got, it doesn't matter because they're both the same. We just got to make sure we get that mark where that needs to be. So it's going to stop about here somewhere, and this is going to be, again, the internal versus the external roll. Another thing that you can do, and I maybe encourage this, is just right on it, up or down. So this one we'd have to run it through up, and this one down. Same over here, up and down. Okay, let's go over and roll them next. Okay, getting ready to put this thing in the roll. Again, paying attention to which direction they have to be rolled on which point. Okay, that curve looks pretty good. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to transfer this mark to the other side so we can kind of see it. And I'm just going to transfer it on the scrap sections that I've got put in there, and we'll get rid of them later so there won't be any marks on the outside. Okay, back here on the bench then, we're just going to pop those spacers out there. Again, that's why I was able to transfer the mark to the other side, because that's coming out of them, and there's still no indication marks or anything on the outside of the sheet. Okay, so that is going to be assembled, and it's going to look something like this here, with the parts sitting on top of one another. Just about like that. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the Heel Fabrication of Project 24. Hopefully you'll catch me on the next one for assembly. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.